Hello, and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Mosby.
And my name's Debby Robinson.
And welcome to
Summer School.
Summer School. Yes. Here we are back in the school once again to teach you everything that you needed to know and indeed refresh your memory on a whole host of things. We've done loads of different shows so far. We've done glue schools.
I love a glue school.
Pens. Ink
pens.
pads. Embossing. We did. What did Sarah do yesterday?
I was going to say, did she do a mix?
Mucked about, basically.
I was just going to say, I bet it were. I bet she just do a bit of everything.
Mucking about. She didn't even let me in the classroom.
I can't believe that. You're all right. You're safe with me.
I know.
I like Mr. Ben Mosby with me.
She was going, oh, no, I quite like it when we do the flip flop. I was like, what? She's like, no, you smell lovely because I just put some of me posh spray on.
Your posh spray on.
Yeah, posh spray. She said, oh no, you smell lovely. I just like it when I. And then after chucking me out the classroom, she drew on the board.
I just knew she would. Is that what that splodge
That's what that is there.
I did wonder.
She's going to be in big trouble when Liam comes
back.
Liam's
back on Monday, so I wouldn't want to be in the path of Liam. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be gunning for her, isn't he?
He will.
Dear. Yeah. Wowee. But anyway, I'm really excited about the next 2 hours. Obviously, the final hour live at 5 is Friday Night Live, so that's going to be a lot of fun, as it always is. But this show is one of my favourite shows to do, and I know it's one of your favourite shows. Call it Summer School, call it what you want. It's a Gemini walk around. And we've already got questions coming in, but if anyone's got any questions about any of the Geminis,
get your hands up.
Yeah.
No, don't get your hands up. Get the notes in. Get the notes into... who's looking after us today?
Jan,
get the notes into Jan. And Jan will pass them through to the studio and I'll answer anything you want to know about the G2, about the manuals, about any of the machines. I will talk you around them. Any problems you have, any troubleshooting, anything you want to see. I've already got a little... because I have I call it my little Gemini demo box.
Yeah.
And I have certain things that I do to show you the capabilities of the machine. Now, you'll often hear when Sarah and Leanne stood here, because the guys were behind it. It's Leanne's legacy, we know, but it was a mash of both Sarah, her dad, and Leanne, and the team, and Leanne did all the groundwork. Leanne was the one that did all the stickling, the little details, all those little things to bring it to you. But I'm so passionate about this machine, I almost feel like it's my baby because I love it. I love the machine. I would not be without my Gemini family. Not just the Gemini 2, but the Gemini family. Each play a part in my crafting life and each hold a piece of my heart. I wouldn't use any other machine. You could stand here and tell me you've got the best machine out in the world. You could tell me all you want. I would never stray away from it because this does everything that I want it to do for me as a crafter and more. And I'm telling you, I'm going to walk you through it, talk you through it, show you the things that it can do. And if you've got any questions, you ask away. I will gladly answer them.
Well, I've got 3 questions which we'll get started with, and any more, fire them in. And let's just get this straight again. Any question, right? If you're sat at the back of the class and you're going, oh, no, I don't want to ask that question because they'll laugh. We won't. We need to know because we all got to start somewhere and there's no such thing as a silly question. The only thing is silly is if you have a question and you don't ask it. So please ask away. We've got Fred with us, ready to learn, pen in hand. Lovely Lynn Harvey is in. Pat Demarest is in. You're right there. Pat Demarest is in. Chrissy from Darlow is in. Looking forward to the Gemini class. Sheila Schloggy says, yay, I love Friday shows, especially Friday Night Live.
Oh,
That's coming up. And Karen Hughes says, hello to Ben, Debbie, Jan, and all. I'm here. Let's start off with the best question to start off with from Carol Shields.
Oh, go on then.
And she says, I need to know everything about the Gemini 2. What a great place to start that is.
I would have said we couldn't start any better, could we?
No.
What is it that you need to know, Carol? Well, I'll tell you everything you need to know. Everything you need to know in what this machine does. The reason it's called the Gemini is a dual functioning. If you think of the Gemini sign, you've got your twins.
Yeah.
This is because it is a dual functioning machine that crosses over onto die cutting and embossing. Edge-to-edge technology, I'll talk a little bit more about that. What you can be guaranteed with this machine is, I know it's had a little bit of an upgrade, which is now 4 years old, I think.
Yeah, I think it is.
When I say 4 years since we've had the Gemini 2, I had a little memory flash up the other day. We've not changed anything in terms of those 3Ps or 4Ps, however you want to call it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking the power, the performance, the precision cutting, and the pressure.
Oh, yeah.
The pressure. That's why it's the 4Ps. We've not changed any of that. What we just changed is the aesthetics. It's the look. It's the extra little things that it can do. So I'm going to walk you and talk you through very, very quickly what we've got on the machine. Now, your machine, when you get it home, will not have that squiggly square thing at the bottom. You've got the function to be able to have that if you want to.
Yeah.
Because it has got a 360 rotating plate that you can add onto the bottom of your machine.
Yes.
That's a separate accessory, £7, £8, something like that, $9, $10, something like that. However, these are the latest feet that we have on this machine. They are no longer little sticky out feet.
No.
They are like a little glide feet. And that all boiled down to the fact of Leanne with the settee. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
And that's why we've got that. So it means it's easy glide, which means when you've got that down there, it's easy to push along. Now, it's difficult when you've got your rotating board because it doesn't work the same way. As you can see, it's kind of lifted off. I think my lovely assistant there is going to go and fetch you what we mean so you can see it just for a second. Would you like to demonstrate how easy it is to glide? And from me to you.
Super glide feet.
It's super glide feet.
Look at that.
So easy with one finger, and I am as weak as a kitten. I'm not Mr. Muscles Mosby.
Muscles Mosby, I'll take that.
Who could practically pick that up with one finger. I'm not like that, but you get the gist. Those glide feet are absolutely fabulous for that. Now, the other little features on the back, and you won't get a black cable, you will get a white cable. We've just lost ours. But it's good to know that the old Gemini cable fits into the back of this machine.
Yeah.
Apart from the 2-point pin one. Now, my old machine was 2-pin point. So
was it?
So it wouldn't fit that one, but the 3-pin ones, like your kettles and all that kind of thing, they'll fit into the back, okay? You've got your 3 USB ports at the back, which means you can charge any devices that have got a USB, you can charge at the back whilst you've got your machine switched on. That is a fabulous little addition to there as well. The other little additions that we've got are the drop-down, you'll hear me say it, I'll say it again, they are drop-down drawers.
They are.
They are.
Drop your
because
drawers.
these are drawers for your storage, for your tools. And you've got little magnetic clasps on both sides there. They also act as the platform for your plates, so there's no more having to catch them out of the back. And you'll all know what I mean from the old style machine. I used to have my hand constantly sat at the back of the machine ready to catch them because otherwise they'd just drop off.
Yes.
You don't have to do that anymore because these sit there beautifully on there. And talking of the other little extra feature is the optical sensor.
Yeah.
We used to have, if you remember, where you lifted it up and you could see 2 like manual sensors, like the little drop down little anchor.
Either side, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
There.
And an optical sensor at the back. Well, not anymore. It's an optical sensor from the front of the machine, which is just basically up there and underneath, all the way across there, which means that you can use smaller plates right down to your Gemini Go plates. Anybody who knows what I'm talking about with the Gemini Go, it was the electronic, well, it's the electronic teeny-weeny portable machine because you could charge it up and run it off a power bank. Those little 3x6 plates will go through there as well. Gemini jewellery plates will go through there. And you'll notice when I'm doing my demonstrations today, I tend to use those a lot. However, you do get all your plates, which we'll come to in a second. It's quicker and quieter, so it means it runs through very quickly. Now, it used to take about, I would say about 18, 19 seconds. Not anymore, it's half that. And depending on if you put your Gemini jewellery plates through sideways, it's seconds. That's how quick it is. And it's quieter, it purrs. No longer has that, it's more of a, like a little sound.
Yeah.
Just, I love that one. Oh yeah, unless you use a Gemini jewellery. Didn't half show you up that machine.
He got sent to Gemini John.
It did. Poor little thing. Just needed a little tweak. That's all it needed. Now, the other features on there is your media stand, because if you're charging your media, you know, your iPads or your phones, you've got somewhere to put your... are you going to demonstrate that as well? You are so kind.
I just put it on there.
And this is how I use mine, because that's how I watch mine.
Dear.
I put my iPad into here so that I can watch you on the go. Well, I say watch you. What I actually mean is catch up on my soaps.
Oh, what?
I'm catching up on... Look, EastEnders, I were in March. Now I'm in May. So I'm doing all right. Caught up with Emmerdale, caught up with Coronation Street. EastEnders, May. We're getting there.
I want to see if we can get crafters on here.
Of course you can. You can get crafters on there. So that media stand has also got a little drawer in there as well. So there's like a little extra storage place at the top. You can put your plates on there. You can put your projects. Do you need a magnetic board with your dies? You can put that onto there as well. What are you doing? Are you watching us? How exciting is that?
And obviously then you can charge it off the back as well, can't you, you see?
I
Plug
love
it in.
that.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Oh, love it. Look at that. That's really clever. I love it. But that's what you can do. It really is a really well thought out machine. It's also got your same buttons. Now I say the same buttons, they're not raised anymore, they're flush to the machine, but you still have your on-off button, your play pause button and your reverse function. Like I said, we've lost none of the things that are going inside the machine. So the power, the precision cutting, the performance every single time, and that pressure. We do not need to add any of those things into this. It's just aesthetically more pleasing.
Yeah.
But it's what it can do.
It is what it can do.
For you as a crafter, what can it do? Well, it can do all sorts. Now, you do get all of the plates.
Yes.
So don't think that you have to buy any plates. You're going to get those in there. And what you're going to get are your 2 cutting plates. So you're going to get 2 of these cutting plates, which now are super toughened. They are white for that optical sensor, but they're super toughened to last you a heck of a lot longer than they would have done. Game changer for me was this one, the plastic shim, which is up to 10 times stronger than it used to be. You still got your double magnetic shim. You're still going to get your
metal shim
and your rubber embossing mat alongside. So you're going to get all of those plates that will come with the machine as standard, and that is a given with all of your things that you're going to get with that machine. And then hours and hours of tuition, and we use this all the time in crafting. All the time when we're crafting, you'll see us use this machine, and that's what I'm going to do now. It's only 10 past. Got loads of time.
No, it's time.
Is there any other questions?
Well, there's 4 questions.
Ooh, can I just have a quick swig?
Yeah.
I do talk a lot, and I did realise that we'll do 2 back-to-back shows, and I always forget, and I miss out on my coffee, so I thought, oh, I'm going to make my coffee just before I start.
Well, I'll say a few of those, and I'll ask you a question.
Go on then. Okay. Go on then.
So Susan Ware joins us. Carolyn joins us in Florida. Mary Pat's in Montana. Diane Lerigo, Carol Garwood-Beard, and Alison Mason. Ali Alligator joins us in northern Wisconsin.
Hello, Ali Alligator.
Ali Alligator. Now you can tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile.
Is this a joke? Go on then.
One will see you in a while, the other will see you later. See you later, alligator. In a while, crocodile.
Oh, do you know? Really, Ben, really?
Sparkly Sue, hello. Jay Pressy, hello. Linda Armstead and Jean Marie Penny. A question which you can probably answer quite swiftly from Karen. She says, I have a G2, but I'm not sure about some other makes 3D embossing folders. Will it take them?
Oh, that is a really good question. The one that I had to change, so most 3D embossing folders are roughly around the same thickness, with the exception of a Tim Holtz one. So a Tim Holtz one is super thick, so I've had to tweak mine, because a normal, and I am going to come to that in a minute. Is that Karen, did you say?
That was Karen, yeah.
Yeah, Karen. Because I bought a beautiful butterfly one from Tim Holtz, but I could not get it through the machine on the platform that we normally put it onto. So I had to tweak with it, and I had to play around with it, and I will talk about that when we come to the embossing, because that's what, in fact, you know what, that's what we'll start with. Normally I start with die cutting to show the powerful precision cutting, but we'll go a different angle since that was the first question. Yes, you can. You just need to tweak it. So with a normal 3D for hours, and I think there's people like Lisa Horton, there's other places that you can get your 3D folders from, would be the normal combination of your plate, your cutting plate, sorry, your magnetic shim and your plastic shim. With the Tim Holtz one, I have to take out the magnetic shim because it doesn't go through. So that was just a little tweak. And that's basically how you learn. You get like a little bit of a user guide when you get your machine, and it gives you instructions. But I always say a user guide is just that. It's a user guide. It's not a Bible. I used to have a lovely lady called Nick who worked in the store with us, and she used to swear by the Bible that came with the machine. And I used to have to say to her, it is not a Bible, because each machine is different. It's like with any car, with any cooker, with any phone, every machine works differently. We can't carbon copy every single thing. So there's sometimes you have to tweak certain things. So just use it as a user guide, but I will explain that as we go along.
The 2 other questions that we got are fairly specific, so I don't know if I just sort of throw those in as we go.
You can ask me now.
Okay, so Chrissy's wondering, she says, I have a question about the G2. When using black card, a trace seems to get embedded on the plate, which transfers onto other card. Any thoughts on that?
That is a really good, that's a really good one, actually. Now, with your die cutting plates, if you think about the nature of a die cut, a metal die that has got pressure that pushes through the cardstock, whatever chosen cardstock, will always leave an indentation onto your plates. I've said this story before because it's a true story, and if Tracy's ever watching who used to run Icon, she'll laugh at this because...
Used to run what?
She used to run a craft store in Barnsley called
right.
Icon. And I bought a machine from it. It was a manual machine. It went to Gemini. And I took it home and I cut my first die cut through and I wanted to cry because it left a mark on the plate. I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I thought I broke the machine. Went running straight back in. Went back in and she laughed at me. And I thought, was she laughing at me for? And she said, that's the nature of a die cut. That's what happens. It cuts. It's got to cut somewhere. And it has to cut and that puts the pressure in. But of course that marks your plates. And over time, plates get marked a lot. So it can affect certain cards, and a black cardstock is matte. It's like a pearlescent cardstock is shiny. You'll get marks on it, and that's down to pressure. And I'll talk about that in a second when we come to using this, about how you can get around that. Copier paper is a good one. You'll hear people talk about cut tidy, those little poly pockets, all that stuff. You don't have to invest in stuff like that, because it's just down to the pressure. And when it comes to die cutting with a simple die, it's the least amount of pressure, which means the least amount of plates. And I'll talk you through that. I think I've got a simple die over there, and I'll show you what I mean by that, and I'll use some card to show you. I personally, until you've learnt all that pressure of the shims, I would be using a piece of copier paper, like an 80 GSM, over the top to protect your cardstock, and that's all you need to do. But I can talk about that as we show you, as we go along this next 45 minutes.
And one other thing, which I suppose you'll naturally come on to, which was Sheila Sloggy's question. She says, and this again is a good one, and it happens, and Debbie will tell you how to rectify it. She says, sometimes when I use my G2, my plates get stuck, but what is the best thing to do to release them? It happens to everyone, doesn't it?
Happens to the best of us, Sheila. It happens to me. Now, the one thing we don't talk about is the troubleshooting button.
Oh.
Now, if you use your Gemini, I'm going to tilt it so Jamie can pick this up. Can you see the middle button, which we call the play and pause button? So this one here. This is also what I would call your troubleshooting button, because if your plates get stuck, get your finger on that middle button, push it in and keep it in, and it'll kickstart your motor and release your plates. So if any time something gets stuck,
Can I do that?
Push can.
So you just hold it down?
Hold it down.
Oh, I heard it click.
And you hear the click. It's the motor picking up the sensor. Leanne thought of everything. They thought of every single detail. There's even a heat sensor in there, so that you can use your foil press through there.
That's
so
brilliant.
You keep your finger on there, and you keep your finger on.
There you go, see?
So Jamie's just said to me in my ear, does it keep going until you let it go? Yes, Jamie, it does. So if you ever get stuck, or a plate gets stuck, that's the button to... Because the thing is, this machine is clever.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't like the plate combination that you've got, 9 times out of 10, it will spit it back out. So it'll stop and it'll reverse itself back out automatically. But there are times when it doesn't. And it'll just go, buff, 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 stop. And then it's stuck. And you go, oh my God, what am I going to do? And don't try yanking it out. Whatever you do,
you won't get it out, will you?
No, you won't.
You won't get it out.
When it's got old, it's like a claw-like thing.
Yeah, it is.
Just get your finger on that button,
like
press
a dog
it, and
with a
then
bone.
it'll kickstart the motor, and you'll be able to get it out easily. So that's just a very, very good question, and one we don't often talk about, because you almost make it sound like, oh my God, that machine's not as good then, is it? Because it's getting stuck. It's not meant to get stuck. Well, no, it happens. It happens to us all because we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
We're all guilty of making human error mistakes, and that's what that is. It's a troubleshooting button.
Few more quick hellos. We are open. Debbie's going to now do a bit of a 101 with this, but we are opening the floor to any more questions, so please get those in. When you tweak something, it's good to mark the folder with the sandwich, says Karen. Good, I like that idea.
Yep.
And Natalie Howell says, good morning from Beaufort, South Carolina, from work, lol. She says, I've missed Debbie. We've all missed Debbie.
Aww.
We love it when Debbie's in town.
Thank you. You've got more of me later.
I know, well, I say we're friends for the next 40 minutes, but then the next show, ooh, bitter enemies as Friday Night Live rolls round. You watch. It's a game on dogs tonight. Oh, I don't know anything about dogs.
I don't. I keep telling you, I'm rubbish with breeds.
You know dog. I'm not. Don't listen to her.
Please.
At all.
Please listen to me.
No, don't.
I'm always truthful. I'm always honest. I'm always transparent. And I'll tell you. I am.
Always in the shows go, oh, I'm not good at geography, and then it turns out you've got a degree in geography.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Only sometimes.
Oh, I'm not very good at catchphrases.
But can I just tell you, I love dogs. I'm just useless when it comes to a breed. I am, unless I've had the breed. If I've had a King Charles Cavalier, or if I've had a Jack Russell, or if I've had an Alsatian, or a little pixie. She's, used to be a little poodle. Dachshund. Whippet. I know them.
You're going through about half the dog breeds already.
It's when you do that.
Yeah.
It's when you do that, I don't know.
Bet she gets 10 out of 10. You watch.
We'll see.
I don't know dogs.
We'll see.
You watch. You watch. I bet you she gets full marks. Anyway, that's to come later on. Now, you've got here, by the looks of it, 2 different embossing folders and a stencil.
Yes, and I like to show that because, what have I done with me?
Oh, it's here.
Oh, do you know?
What do you like?
What am I like? Right, so when it comes to embossing, there's lots of different types of embossing. I've got a regular embossing folder, a 3D embossing folder, and a stencil. Because as you know, I love to show you how to emboss with a stencil. It's really cool. It looks really, really good. I'm also going to show you how to emboss with a metal die when we come to the dies. But I thought what I'd do is talk you through embossing. Now, this is a regular... And I'm going to do the visual because the visual is always good to show you. The visual of a 2D versus a 3D is the thickness. Shall I do it that angle? Can you see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah? Thin, thick. As I've just told you, Tim Holtz, even thicker.
Right.
Because it's really dimensional. So you need to tweak. So first of all, a regular embossing folder, and this goes for a cut and emboss folder.
Yes.
So a cut and emboss folder. Oh, I might have got one actually.
We had one floating around the other day.
Yeah, I've got one. I think it might
nice.
be in my. Oh, let me just have a quick peek.
Okay.
Because I carry things around with me all the time. I just don't know if I've got it there. Oh, lordy, I've got one.
Well, there you are. See.
There we go. So I'll show you. Regular embossing folder. Now the trick I've told you about this before is cut it down to size because all embossing folders have a border. Regular embossing folder is just your 2 cutting plates. That's it. So your 2 white cutting plates.
2D, 2 plates.
I like it.
I know all the, well, not all of them, but I know the majority of the main combinations now, and that's how I remember it. 2D,
like
2 plates.
That, yes. So,
look at
edge
that.
to edge, beautiful. Oh, a lot of static today. That's all right. Oh, do you know why I've got 2?
2 well,
I didn't realise I got 2 in there.
and it's embossed both.
Oh my God, look at that.
Power.
Now, this is exactly that. I hadn't realised that I'd got 2 pieces of cardstock in.
Hey.
And look how beautiful that edge-to-edge technology is. But look at that, the secondary one in there.
Wowee.
Wow. Even I got blown away with that
I can't believe that. That's 500 GSM, isn't it?
That's unbelievable. That's just, I'm shooketh to the core. Shooketh
500.
to the core. I did not expect that.
No.
Right, cut and emboss folder. You're probably thinking, well, there's embossing in there, there's a metal die in there. How do you use that? Well, it's just exactly the same.
Right.
Pop it into the folder, 2 cutting plates, run that through. Now, there might be an exception depending on how much metal is in there that you might just need to add a little paper shim. Not anything else, just a little paper shim. But you'd know by going through whether or not that cuts through, and it cut through absolutely beautifully.
Hot knife through butter.
Hot knife through butter, edge-to-edge technology all the way around, and cuts and embosses perfectly, right? So that's your 2D and your cut and emboss. 3D is thicker, so we have to change the shim. Wait a minute. Just checking. It's an old style one, and I just wanted to check.
Yesterday, whenever it was, yeah.
Because normally on the old style, this would be the other way around, and so we chopped and changed it and confused everybody.
I'm so glad you said that because I've heard so many times people go, oh, well, the raised bit is on the bit where the Crafter's Companion logo is, and it isn't always.
Not always.
So check
it is now,
yeah.
But check, because if you've got an older one, this is an older one, we didn't used to. We used to have the writing on the front. Now, honestly, you feel it. If it's raised, it pushes up and through your cardstock, and that's a metal. That's a shiny card.
Did I remember that?
How do you remember that?
Westlife.
Really?
You raise me up. That's how I remember. Westlife, Ben.
I love that.
Yep, there you go.
Can't wait to see them in October. Cannot
I thought
wait.
you'd seen them.
No.
Oh.
No, that were blue, but it got cancelled. Didn't tell you, did I?
No.
Could have gone to a garden party.
Why did it get cancelled? Was it one of a
Didn't know. It was only when I was ringing up to see where the venue and what time it was only went, oh, it's been postponed. Did you not know, madam? No, I didn't. Thank you very much. I could have gone to a garden party. I was most
Blue?
miffed. Blue. That's a good one. Right, 3D embossing. How do we do 3D embossing? Well, 3D embossing is a thicker plastic, so we have to change the shim. That means we're removing some of the pressure because we don't need as much because it's thicker. The medium that's inside is thicker. So it will be your cutting plate, your magnetic shim and your plastic shim. With the exception to the rule there is if there is too much pressure, and that will be down to your cardstock that you choose. Certain cardstocks need less pressure, like things like acetate. If I ran acetate through that now with that combination, it'll rip through my acetate.
Right.
So the answer to that is you take out this, take this out, and just emboss with those two.
Right.
Okay, so just think about the medium that you're putting in. This is why I always say about it being trial and error. Look at that. And that edge-to-edge technology again is absolutely stunning.
Beautiful.
Still one of my favourite embossing folders ever.
Ever.
So that's all the 3D, 2D and cut and emboss. But the one I love to show you is where you can emboss your stencils. So every stencil that you have, we can now turn into a level of embossing. Now we're not talking 3D embossing. It's impossible. It's just a simple stencil. But we're going to pop that on to my plate. I'm going to take my cardstock face down because that's the bit that I want to emboss. We're then going to use our rubber embossing mats over the top. Don't you dare move, you little tinker.
You little tinker.
Let's see if I can get that on. There we go. You could hold it down with a little bit of tape, but I'm just going to go straight in. Then you're going to put your plastic shim onto the top, and then you're going to put your other cutting plate on the top. I think, again, this would be too much pressure, even though it's a stencil.
So go less first, isn't it?
Yeah, go less first. You'd probably get a tiny bit of a deeper impression with the magnetic shim, but it's not needed. It isn't needed, because all it is the pressure from the machine is bouncing from the rubber embossing mat back into the cardstock. So it's not a question of adding extras. Oh, I got electric shock then.
Yeah.
I always tend to get electric shock off things with static.
It's your electric personality, that's what
Thank
it
you
is.
very much, my darling. And there you go,
That's
beautifully embossed. Right. However, can you see something there?
Yeah, like
Markings from the plate, because this is a satin cardstock. So my answer to that would be put a bit of paper, HGSM down onto there, and then do that same thing. You're not going to affect it, it's not going to hurt it, it's not needing anything else, but it'll stop those marks on there.
do you want some more questions?
Oh, we've got some more.
Yeah.
Of course.
Few comments. Hilary says, I think Debbie named every dog breed. Exactly my point, Hilary. Exactly my point.
Hilary.
Yes. Debbie Swanson says, you are both so funny. I do think Ben has a slight edge.
I do, Debbie, and the only reason being is the dog man.
I'm a dog man.
You're like a dog whisperer. You know your dogs, you know your stuff. You're very good at retaining that kind of stuff.
Well, we'll see.
Jamie has just apologised in my ear, said it's very hard today.
Well, he says that. He says that every
Jamie.
week. Jamie's still on edge after a game he did about 2 weeks ago, and everyone turned on him. So he's like putting it out there now.
Why? What happened?
Oh, you don't. It's too long to talk about. Stacey Lou says, and Stacey Lou, I doff my cap to you, chapeau to you. She says, sorry I'm late. I've just signed up to Macmillan Cancer to walk 100 miles in August to support families. Recently, my daddy was diagnosed with cancer. Well, Stacey Lou, we're sending all the love to you and your dad, and what a great thing to do. That's amazing.
Send me the link.
Yeah, and me.
Yeah, send me
I'll
the link.
sponsor you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Put it in our DMs.
Yeah.
Made me laugh the other night. They were saying about... they were watching Love Island, my two.
Oh.
Yeah, my two, oh my God. And they
God
were
love you.
going on about that by going, put it in my DMs. He was in my DMs. And my Laura went, why do they keep talking about boots? And Daisy was like, what? And she's like, why do they keep talking about saying put it in my DMs? What does that mean? And Daisy was like, direct message, DM. Oh, like, Laura's like, is that
Doc
what it means?
Martens.
Yeah.
She think Doc Martens.
She thought they were talking about Doc Martens. And she was like, I call it my
God
PM,
love her.
private message. And I was like, no, but DMs. Apparently she thought all the Love Islanders were talking about people being in their boots.
Love her.
That's my Laura.
God love Laura. I was going to say, was the wine involved?
There's always wine involved. Any day of the week that ends in a Y, there's wine. Right, so which questions shall I ask you first? Let's ask you Stacey Lou, seeing as you've just mentioned her. She says, when you say acetate, is that all types of acetate? Because, of course, there are thick and others, thin ones.
There are different types of acetate, so yes, it can depend on that. So a good one to always emboss is a heavyweight construction one because it holds it better. Because a heat-resistant acetate is basically meant for heat.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be embossed. It's not meant to be. It has been purposely designed to hold its shape and hold, like if you want to stamp onto it, when heat's applied to it. So that's why we call it heat resistant. You can do that and you can try. I for a long time, do you know the plastic that comes with your dies?
Oh, yeah.
You've got the sellotape off. Use that as embossing, you know, as some
I suppose it is acetated of a type, isn't it?
It's type of way, yeah. But yes, so just, you'll know because there's different types out there about the tweaking of the acetate when you're embossing things, yeah.
And I think you sort of half-covered this potentially, but Pat's saying, I've started noticing that I'm getting more of an imprint on the papers around my die, and I've tried to remove some of the plates, but then it doesn't cut. What else can I do?
It's that age-old again, by putting that copier sheet down just to protect it, because it's the nature of the machine. It's extremely powerful with a lot of pressure. And there are ways around it, and I will get that. In fact, I'll go and grab. Can you go and grab me a simple die? Like a nesting die. Yeah. In fact, do we have? Oh no, I've got nesting dies here, Ben.
Oh yes, you
have.
It's
fine. Sorry, love. I didn't realise. I completely forgot we got some under here. When it comes to like a simple, straightforward die, how you can react it when it's, how you can use it, about the less pressure, which then stops it from cutting into the plate. If you're still struggling with what I'm going to show you in a second, and you're still getting marks on there, then do the copier sheet, put it down onto the plate that it's cutting into to protect your surface. Yeah. Is basically what I'm meaning. And there are other things out there. I have heard people talk about the cut tidy. People have often said to me, "Why don't you use it, Debbie?" I don't need to use it. But they're out there if you need them. People talk about poly pockets, sticking the dies and the paper in there and it protects it. You can do that. Again, you don't need it. It's just about that pressure, and I'll show you that in a second.
Denise L is in from Chicagoland. Hello, Denise. Hello, Sheila, who says, I love Debbie's bracelets. And Linda says, great tip, Debbie, and great song to help me remember Ben. Yeah, Westlife, you raised me up. And one other question for now. Stephen Ferguson says, how are Debbie and Ben? Well, I'm very well, Stephen, thank you.
I'm very well too, thank you, Stephen. Thank you very much for asking. I hope you are too.
Always very polite, isn't he, Stephen?
He is, he's lovely.
Polite.
He is.
Right, we're going to get onto dies then now.
Yes, so I'm going to start with a straightforward die, and then we're going to go on to my favourite, all-time favourite creator card. Love this creator card. It is many, 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 many years old, but it's a good one, and I always use it from a demonstration.
Very intricate.
It's very intricate. I bought this about 3 times as well, because it's got embossing details on, as well as lots of die cutting. And when I say lots of die cutting, God, there's about hundreds, about 100 over there, 100 over there. There's just everywhere, because it's such a detailed die, and that's what I like to show you, how to do that. I'll start with the straightforward dies, and about this pressure with your plates, because they are marked. Yeah. And the problem that you have is that, again, it depends how you, which way around you do this, because I know that in the instruction booklet, you'll hear us refer to it this way. So when you come in with a die, you'll hear refer to a cutting plate, plastic shim, magnetic shim. Hold your die down on there, because that's what it does. It stops them from moving around, especially when you've got all the markings on. And then put your piece of cardstock down and then cut it that way. I prefer to look at what I'm cutting. I want to see what I'm cutting into. So my method will always be this, where I cut down into this. I put a couple of dies in there. Let's just pop that one on as well. Maybe, nah, I'll not risk it too much because it might move. Power of the machine and all that. Now, it's a highly glossed surface. It's a mirror card. Now, I know, because I've seen people do this, they think they've got to use, because that user guide tells you, plastic shim, magnetic shim, cutting plate. When it's a straightforward die, and you'll see, we've had little accidents ourselves. We've got cut, you can see we've cut into the plastic shim. We shouldn't be doing that, because that's... can happen when you're not concentrating.
Wow, easily done, isn't it?
Easily done. But I'm just going to place that onto the top. You can hold it down with tape if you want to do, but I'm just going to risk it for a biscuit and pop that in. So straightforward die with the straightforward plate combination there is the cutting plate, the plastic shim, and the other cutting plate, because this is a simple die. Straightforward, simple die. Now, I'm going to take that off. Because the pressure, oops, there we go. Push that out of the way. And Jamie, I don't know if you can get in close. Can you see, let me come this way. Shall I move it that way, Jamie? There. Can you see? Because I didn't have the pressure, it hasn't marked the cardstock. Even though those plates, including that plastic shim, extremely marked. Look at that. That's because I didn't add the unnecessary extra shims that will then force the machine to mark the cardstock, because that's what will happen. A hard lesson to learn, but it's sometimes, it's just when you put it into like simple terms, that's what you need to be doing. So try it first. Don't think automatically, I've got to put that metal magnetic shim in there because it says so in the user guide. It tells me that's what I've got to use. That's a straightforward die, it's cut it beautifully, but it hasn't marked the card at all, apart from my little fingerprints, what I've just put on there. That's it. And that goes with any patterned, not patterned, shiny card, like your matte mirror, your mirror, and things like, what's the
glitter
other
card?
Glitter card, you probably have to use the extra pressure, but try it first.
Linen card?
I'm thinking the card marks, pearlescent.
Oh, pearlescent.
Pearlescent, things that would mark easily. Matte black cardstock and things like that.
Right.
Right, that was the straightforward, easy, simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy dies.
Can I just very quickly, because I know you've moved on from this now, Carol's just asking, you know you showed you can emboss a stencil, so she's asking whether or not you can run a template through as well. If
You can.
do that. Right.
Exactly the same combination with a template. It's exactly the same. Treat a template like you would treat a stencil.
Right.
Because they're made from the same material, and that's a very good question.
Thank you, Carol. Any more?
Very good.
Keep them
Any
coming
more
in.
for any more?
Any more for any more?
I'm here. I'm here for the rest of the hour. Yeah.
And the rest of the next hour.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you're not going home then.
Yeah, I'm here till 6. Completely forgot about that.
10 to.
What?
Well, it's Friday, isn't it?
Is it Friday? Do we finish early on Friday?
We knock off a bit early on a Friday, didn't we? We knock off a bit early. Everyone else has gone. About 3 o'clock, wasn't it? I think.
Have they all gone? Is there just us left in the building?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Fun Time Friday crew left.
Oh. Oh, yeah. I don't mind finishing a bit early.
Yeah.
Right.
5:30, everyone? Yep. Good. Great news.
Are you ready to see what your machine can do? Because I think it was Carol that asked, was it Carol asked right at the very beginning about wanting to know what the G2
Carol,
does
it
and
was.
everything,
Yeah.
and why you need a G2 in your life?
Yeah.
And for me, like I've said, it's something that I've learned. I remember Hazel Eaton blowing me away
Hazel
at
Eaton.
Doncaster. She used to work for us freelance, and she used to do demonstrations and
worked
work
with
with a
Hazel.
company called Pink Frogs. And she used to work and do that. And I remember seeing her at the Doncaster show, and she blew me away with what it did, because she had this gorgeous project. It was all these flowers on this gorgeous box that she'd made from aluminium can.
Wow.
I was like,
Aluminum.
and she painted it and everything. It looks absolutely sensational. And I knew that my machine couldn't do what that machine could do. I was blown away there and then. I fell for it with sales patter, like I do always. I'm always falling for sales patter. But it's the best bit of money I've ever spent in my life. Best. I've never had to worry about anything ever again, because I know that this machine can do everything I want it to do for me as a crafter, with not just our dies, with other company dies. And that was for me, because I was that girl that pulled out. In fact, I've got the die with me. I've got the die, the very die, with me that wouldn't cut. It wouldn't cut this die. This die would not cut. Can I just show you overhead?
I want to see that cut now.
Gorgeous, beautiful die, nothing in the middle, right? And the pressure down here would not cut. Cut here, wouldn't cut down there. Drove me mad. I used to have to put shims of card in it, and then I'd end up getting marks on my card because I put the extra shim down there. I pulled that out. Hazel ran that through a machine. One pass of the machine cut through like a dream, and I was like, that's it, I'm done.
I've never
Because this
seen
die
that
cost me
before.
30 quid. £30 for that, back in the day.
Are you going to cut that today or
Of
not
course
today?
I will, yeah, of course I will. And I still use it because it's a beautiful die.
Yeah.
And I'm not spending £30 a die, I'm not using it.
No, exactly
Excuse
right.
me. I'm a girl from Yorkshire, a little bit on the tight side. Want to get the most out of my money.
Yeah.
Right,
Short arms, long pockets.
that's it. Short arm, short leg, short body. Just short in general.
Just short, yeah.
Right, so
quite short, actually.
intricate
How
die
tall are you?
cutting. You what?
How tall are you?
With me, right, if I take my heels off just for a second.
Oh, dear.
I'm only 5'2".
Ah,
I'm not really, I'm 5'1.5", but they are
5'2".
matters.
Eyes of blue. No, they're not blue, are they?
No, brown. Well,
Oh, they are?
no, they're not brown, they're green.
Green,
Mine
yeah.
about green.
Green.
Brown.
Yeah.
Brown eyes.
No, they're green.
They are green.
Mine are green.
Oh, yours green too.
I think, aren't they?
I can't see. Blind as a bat.
Greeny blue. Anyway.
Come on, we've got loads to do.
Come on,
Let's
stop
get
rabbiting on.
Stop
God,
rabbiting.
yeah.
Right, we're trying to teach everybody. It's
No,
school.
you are.
Remember where we
Oh,
are?
yeah, school. Come on,
Yeah,
behave.
school. Right, so I did tell you about me using it that way. You can do it, you can, and I'm not saying that this is the wrong or right way. You can put your die This way with your cutting plate, your plastic shim, your magnetic shim, your die with the blade facing upwards, not downwards. I cut a lovely love heart the first time I used mine. Wanted to cry.
What do you like? We've all done it though.
We have, and then you could put that down. For me, I can't get. I
know what you mean.
I struggle with that. And then just put your other cutting plate on. So you can do that if you want, but like I said, I like to see what I'm cutting into, and I prefer to do it this way with my cardstock, my die. Now I don't know if I've got a little bit of tape, because I would normally put a bit of tape.
Is the reason that came about because you were showing it on TV?
All the time.
Yeah.
And I used to demonstrate in store, and I couldn't cope with the fact that the power of the machine would shift the dies.
Yeah.
So for me, I find it easier to do this and just pop it down at the plate combination. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way. Now with a die that intricate, you would be thinking, Debbie, why on earth aren't you using your metal shim? Because guess what the user guide tells you to do?
Use the metal shim.
Use the metal shim. You don't need to. This should only be used when you need to. Now, I only ever use mine for things that I need acetate to cut through. Glitter cardstock, because it's encapsulated glitter cardstock with the coating over the top, and sometimes I need a clean cut, especially depending on the die that I'm using.
Is that also with your multimedia dies?
Multimedia dies, yeah, absolutely. Now, this die, if I just give it a... In fact, Jamie, can you come in close? Lovely. So you'll see, and you can see where it's lifted, where it's die cut, and you can see all these markings of pretty much, let me go that way, there we go, die cut through them really, really well. But on the middles of these flowers, there are some beautiful embossed details. Now, I can see a teeny tiny bit here where it's kind of just looks like a faint pencil. I know that if I pulled this die off right now, that wouldn't have cut through cleanly, okay? One pass of the machine, that's absolutely fine. You can. There's nothing to stop you. We talk about one-pass wonders and things like that. Nothing to stop you from putting it through again, okay? Nothing to stop you from putting it on an angle. If you noticed on my plate, I had it bang smack in the middle, and I hadn't got it on an angle. You could put it on an angle, and what happens when you put it on an angle is the rollers hit it at different times, so you get a cleaner cut. So that's another way to do it. However, the reason I do this is because we have a rubber embossing mat included in your plates. Now, what is it for? It's for using embossing your dies. And that means cutting plate, plastic shim, die, this time blade facing upwards with the rubber embossing mat on the top. And don't think for 1 minute, Debbie, it's going to cut through it. It isn't. Because I haven't, if you've noticed, got that in now. I've taken it out. Because all I'm wanting to do now is emboss the die to give the extra oomph to the embossing details. We're not the only company that do it. There are other companies out there that have that extra little feature on there. And if you've got a die that's got that, it's well worth doing it. And then not only that, it kind of finishes the cut off as well, because it's pushed the cardstock.
It's covered me in cardstock.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. But,
look at that.
Jamie, can you see that detail?
Oh, wow.
That detail is just absolutely beautiful. Look at all the intricate cut, look at all the die cut pieces. This has got a beautiful feature where these butterflies stay connected. It's got flowers with little petals that push up. It's the most stunning die. One of my favourites. It was called the Country Garden, would you believe?
That was in Country Garden?
Also, yeah, like the 3D embossing folder.
I'm thinking of Country Lane.
Oh, no, no. It was a separate, absolutely stunning. One that shows the power of the machine really well, but also that extra embossing. I did tell you, though, same die we can emboss with. Are you ready to see this?
Are you ready to have your mind blown?
I have to get my little notes out because I always forget the combinations.
What's written on there?
I'm going to show you.
It's a shopping list.
We've got a cutting plate.
I thought it said curry, that.
No, cutting plate.
Cutting plate.
Yeah. You've got your paper.
Right.
You've got your die.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to put the die down, facing in. Okay. We're then going to take the rubber embossing mat.
Oh, rubber.
Yeah.
I thought that said nibber.
No, rubber. Oh, is it my writing? Is it that bad? Oh, it does. It looks like nibber.
Nibber.
Oh, my God. Plastic shim. Other cutting plate.
So cutting plate die, rubber.
So cutting plate, paper or cardstock, die over the top, rubber embossing mat, plastic, cutting plate.
Right.
Get off you, you're not coming through the machine. And we're going to run that through. Now, you would be forgiven for thinking, hang on a minute, that's going to cut into rubber. Or, worse, it's going to cut. Now, sometimes, and I will say, sometimes it's going to be a bit hit and miss depending on your die. You might get a little bit too much pressure and it might just push through the cardstock just that little bit too much. But we shall have a little look because...
Oh, that's brilliant.
It just embosses that gorgeous die.
I don't know if I've seen that before.
Have you not seen it before?
Do
Do you know when you sometimes see the effect and you want something underneath, but you don't want to die cut through? You can that can be just used now as emboss because it's just emboss. It's not die cut through.
Hey, can I shove that in?
Of course you can.
Screenshot that, everybody.
Let's go there for you. So if you want to emboss a die, not die cut, that is the combination. And we'll hold that there. I hope you can read my writing.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, so that's just another way. I mean, to be fair, I was taking the mick there because that's a really intricate die. But there are dies out there that you might just want that imprint of, and that's how you do it. Okay? So that's your die cutting parts done.
Quickly, and again, this is slightly different, I suppose. So Helen's asking about templates again.
Yeah.
Can you run the templates in the template library through? You can.
You can.
But
the big but there are childish, Debbie, childish. The big but there is the fact is there's mats and layers on there,
so it'd be
and
confusing.
you will emboss those through. You can try it. You can see if it works for you, because don't forget the mats and layers you would be covering up. So it's worth doing. You can do that, but of course, think about your templates. Some of your templates, they'll be too big.
Yeah.
If you've got the Gemini Pro, you're fine. But they might be too big, some of those templates.
Lots of thank yous coming through. Jane's joined us, watching on the TV. Not able to comment much because I'm on my phone. My tablet won't charge. Pesky tablet. We've got about 10 minutes or so left. Here we go, cutting through different materials.
Yeah, so moving on to materials. And the three material ones that I like to show you are your multiple layers of cotton, your leather, and then fabric with a regular die. So one of the regular dies and how you use this, cutting through fabric, you're probably thinking, well, that's multimedia, that isn't, it's a paper craft die, but there are a way around it, and I'm going to show you.
Nice.
Right, so start with leather, okay? Now, you have heard me reference this before. If you're using something like this, I've said this before, have one plate for your multimedia dies.
Right.
If you have one plate for your multimedia dies, you know for a fact that it's not going to affect the cuts, because if you think of using this as a paper craft one and a multimedia one, you're going to get some deep cuts, more damage there to some of your we've talked about some of the cardstock that can get marked. So if you're going to do that, because again, if you was listening to the guide would say, stop.
In the name of
Get that in and do it that way,
right.
Which you can do. The power of this machine that I've shown many, many times is that it cuts through without the use of the metal, despite the fact that being an upholstery leather. Do I do it? No. I'm going to protect the plate, Debbie, because we use these plates all the time here, and I would be the first to complain.
If someone else did.
Why's that got that deep leather cut in there? So you can use your metal shim, but it is a case of, with the multimedia die, never, ever, ever do I want to see these two plates in your combination of your shims, because I'll come round and smack your legs, because no, we don't do it. Yeah.
Smack the back of your legs.
Smack the back of your legs. No?
Yeah.
Well, it was school, aren't we? Used to get ruler.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Ruler over knuckles, that's what we
Or board rubbers coming your way.
Board rubbers flying across. Oh, poor David Labour used to get it all the time.
David.
Flinging it across. Always, because he used to sit at back and cause the biggest.
Do you know what Mr. Dickinson used to do in our maths?
Go on then.
He used to have a cricket ball, and if you didn't think you were concentrating, he'd throw it at you.
Wouldn't get away with it these days, would you?
Nah.
Absolutely not. We used to get a big metal, I'm talking a big metal ruler, straight across. I was a good girl, it never happened to me.
Well, I was a good boy, never happened to me, and if he did throw it at me, I always caught it because I was always concentrating. I love Mr. Dickinson though. He'd start off the class by like chucking the ball around to get you warmed up. But if you were chatting or score, all of a sudden at the corner of you, whoa, all right, Mr. Dickinson. God dear.
So, what are we not going to do, girls and boys?
Not going to use those two, otherwise there's a cricket ball coming your way.
We're not going to use these two with multimedia dies. Never. Don't want to see them. Right, go back to what we're showing you. Cutting plate, metal shim. I've got my leather on there, I've got my multimedia die, I've got the plastic shim on the top and the other cutting plate. And now we're going to hope that doesn't move.
It'll be fine.
Should be okay. Should be all right.
I love the change of the machine. You can hear when it's working.
Of course you can. It's a little powerhouse. Oh, it did move a little bit. Oh, you little devil, you. But look at that. Beautifully cut. And what it's taken the brunt has taken it on there, not on to your cutting plate. Although they can see the little tiny bit of an imprint, you haven't cut the metal fabric through there. So that's a really good one to do. And of course you can emboss.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
you saw
yeah.
me emboss earlier with the basswood, you can emboss 3D. You can emboss with the 3D embossing folder onto your leather.
Can we do it?
Oh, go on then. I'll do it for you.
Okay.
I'll do it for you.
It's a good little demo just
It
to see.
is. It
And
looks
also,
absolutely fab.
for those of you who get stuck in that rut of going, oh well, I need to make sure that my cardstock fits perfectly into my embossing folder. It shows that you don't always have to use the whole of the embossing folder.
Exactly. Just use a little teeny weeny bit. Shall we
Yeah.
do that bit?
Oh yeah.
That looks nice, doesn't
Does
it?
look nice.
So it is just a regular embossing folder. Even though it's got material in, it's exactly the same. We're going to put the magnetic shim, the plastic shim, and we're good to go. And you're going to run that through. Okay?
Chrissy from Darla said this has been her favourite summer school class so far.
Aww.
And Mary Rose Rigby says this show's been fantastic and I've learned so much. Thank you, Debbie and Ben.
You know what I'm like. I tell you, I know that
You could do
Leanne,
3 hours on this, couldn't you?
I could literally talk about this all day. Give me this all day. I love this machine. Leanne and Sarah know how much I love this machine, and I absolutely want to show you why you need this machine in your life, and just show you all the little hints and tips and the little tricks, like with simple dies, with a magnetic, you know, with really intricate dies and all that kind of thing, to be able to show you. Now, moving on to multiple fabrics, still a multimedia die, I still need my metal shim. And the reason being is we're cutting through multiple fabrics. I think I've got 8 loaded there. I'm gonna say 8. I'm gonna stick it in the middle of my plate, something that in an older machine I would have had to avoid like the plague. Now, remember what I said? What's the plate combination we never ever put in there?
Them two.
Don't put those two in.
No.
Put them to one side, because all you need is your cutting plate, metal shim, cotton, dye over the top of that, plastic shim, cutting plate, and you're going to run that through as well.
Debbie says, thank you so much for all the tips. I have a book that I reference and this information will be added to it. I need to watch again as I'm working and watching. Not a good combo, but yeah, you can come back and watch it later on and add all those tips in.
Absolutely.
Look at that.
Hot knife through butter, and it's
Boom.
cut all those absolutely
How many?
beautifully. I think it's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Oh, hello.
6, 7 and 8.
Perfect.
All perfect, nothing frayed, hot knife through butter, beautifully done. And that is how you cut through multiple fabrics. Now there's one more I want to show you, and it's one that I absolutely love, because I'm going to kind of flip reverse myself on what I just said a minute ago. So are you ready? This is a glitter fabric. So any fabric, it could be any cotton, any fabric. It's a paper craft dye. And it's quite intricate as well. If you think about all the little areas. Now you might need to go and get me a poker tool for this bit. Right, I'm going to put that down onto the metal fabric. Sorry, I just don't know. Oh, actually, I did see one on there. Where did it go? There was a poker. Thank you. Thank you. Right, are you ready? So, fabric, regular dye, over the top of the fabric, we've got the plastic shim. Oh yes. Now, I was just going to say, I'm going to put this in.
Right.
I'm going to put that on the top. I'm going to put the regular dye over the top. I'm then going to put the plastic shim onto the top. Uh-oh, what's this?
Hang on a minute, what are you doing there?
What are you doing? Because it's fabric.
Yeah, what
well,
are you
remember, that isn't a multimedia dye. It's a regular dye. And this is the time, this is the only time when you've got fabric on there with a regular dye that you're going to put the magnetic shim in. Okay? You are not going to put it in with a multimedia dye. With a regular dye, it needs the extra pressure. So you've got to give it a little bit of a helping hand, because it is exactly that. It's a regular dye, not a multimedia dye. So you need to make sure it's cutting into like the metal to metal, metal onto metal. Yep. But you need to give it the extra oomph and the extra pressure to cut through the material beautifully, cleanly. And if I just get that out, let's just go around, because you have to take your time with the fabric. But come through that, and if I just push through all the extra little details, that now has given me the ability with a regular dye to cut out a beautiful, gorgeous snowflake design. Let's just make sure I'm getting all those pieces, because you know it's like, it cuts that out absolutely. Again, beautifully. But that's because it's that power, that performance, that precision cutting, it's that pressure that's in there, but it's also knowing the right combinations.
Yes.
We can talk about how fantastic that machine is, but if you can't do the basics in terms of learning about your machine and the capabilities that it can do, and look at that. And Ben, could you just tell everyone that is fabric?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. How beautiful is it?
It's unbelievable.
It looks absolutely good. No. As if. But how gorgeous is that?
Yeah.
It's just knowing your machine. It's knowing what it can do, and that's exactly what I've taken you through in this school class. I've taught you how to regular embossing, but it did twice because we did 2 by mistake and we didn't realise we'd done that. Then I've taught you how to use cut and emboss. I've then taught you how to use your 3D and also with your plate combination. Then shown you how to stencil and emboss with a stencil. We then moved on to simple die cuts. So you've got your simple die cuts there and not marking the cardstock. We then moved on to an intricate die cut along with embossing that, but then also embossing an intricate die just to get an embossed detail. And then we moved into the world of leather, multiple fabrics, and then lastly, our lovely little snowflake using a regular die with fabric and the right combination, because that's all it is. This is why this is a really good, whoever came up with this concept
Johnny.
is a brilliant, honestly, because it's just about knowing your machine, getting to know your machine, the things that it can do. Having this as a little stepping, literally a little, I'm your little guide. Forget the book.
It's little as well.
Don't tell Leanne I said that, will you? Don't tell Leanne I said that. But just get familiar with your machine and get familiar with what you can do.
One more quick question.
You can
Stacey
ask.
Lou's asking about the thickness of basswood you can use with the Gemini. Ours is 1.8 mil, I think.
It is, and you can use ours through there. As you saw, if you didn't, Stacey, we die cut through that earlier. You can cut that quite easily with your multimedia dies through using the metal shim and the plastic shim again, because it's multimedia, no other platforms in there. But yes, so you can cut basswood. Don't go any thicker than that, is what I'm going to say. Don't go thicker than that.
And thank you as well. I've just seen your message here, Jean. It's from the other show, and I can't remember what exactly the message was, but I know you sent the picture. Will I find it? Hold the line, please, caller. It's a very funny picture, but it needs... there you go. I know you've shown Dolly once already, but this is Dolly, her dog. But after making my bed this morning, I wondered where Dolly was. I've sent in another photo showing where I found her. She was hiding in the bed.
Oh, look at her little face.
She's
Gosh,
like-
she's so gorgeous. Look at, she's got tongue poking out there.
It's really
just tapped on your
cosy.
thing,
That's
sorry.
all right. Oh,
How
so
gorgeous
cosy.
is she?
Her little face.
That's beautiful. little gorgeous girl. I'm dropping all my dies. Where did that go? We'll have to find that.
Thank you for a lovely show.
You're very welcome.
feel
I
like-
hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you've learned a little bit in
Yeah.
summer school about one of my favourite things we've ever done at Crafters Companion, the Gemini machine.
So make sure when you're back for summer school next week, you bring all of your pens and papers, because we will be testing you on everything that we have just taught you in that show, and we'll be expecting full marks from everybody.
Oh dear. I need to find that die. Did you see where it went?
I thought it went
It
that
kind
way,
of
but I
bounced,
don't
didn't it?
know
I
for
don't like.
Hey.
I'll never find it now.
No, I mean...
I've got a few minutes. It's fine. I'll find it. I'll get on my hands and knees.
Friday Night Live is coming up in a minute.